The question on board is a special type of number-based question. The question says, calculate for n in the following expression: 1, 3, 4 base n equals to 5, 4 base 8. So in this aspect now, what do? You change them to base 10. The first thing to be done whenever you see this type of question is change it to base 10. So let's start from the first one. 1, 3, 4 base n. We count 0, 1, 0, 1, 2. Now we are changing to base 10. 1 times the n, which is the base, raised to power the number assigned to it, plus 3 times n raised to power 1 plus 4 times n raised to power 0. We now continue, which is equals to 1 times n raised to power 2 is n raised to power 2 plus 3 times n is 3n plus 4 times n raised to power 0. N raised to power 0 is 1, so 4 times 1 is 4. So if you look at this question now we have succeeded in changing it to base 10. But if you look at this question now, it has brought us to what we call quadratic equation. If you look at this now, it is now in form of quadratic equation. It is in form of quadratic what? Equation. N raised to power 2 plus 3n plus 4. So we will still treat it, but I will treat it with the quadratic equation format. But even if you don't know how to work quadratic equation, it will still be a new topic I will treat. Okay, it will still be a new topic I will treat. So just follow up when I treat quadratic equation, we understand it more. Please, I still beg you to subscribe. If you never subscribe to my channel, please, okay, and like. And if you always, there are more things to come, please subscribe. Now let's convert the other one to base 10. 5, 4 base 8, converting it to base 10, 0, 1, 5 times the base, raised to power 1 plus 4 times the base, raised to power 0, which will now be 5 times 8 raised to power 1 is what? Is 40. Is 40 plus 4 times 8 raised to power 0. 8 raised to power 0 is 1. So 4 times 1 is 4. When we add all, it will now be 44 base 10. Now, so therefore, our equation now will become, since this is equals to this, therefore our equation now will become n raised to power 2 plus 3n plus 4 equals to 44. This is now pure quadratic equation. Now we now solve it with quadratic equation. Remember, we are looking for n. Question say calculate for n. We are looking for what? N. So let's solve with the quadratic equation. Now with quadratic equation, we now continue by n raised to power 2 plus 3n plus 4, bringing this one, cross this one to this side, it will now be minus 44 equals to 0 now, okay, which is n raised to power 2 plus 3n plus 4 minus 44 will now be 4 minus 44 will now be minus 40, which is equals to 0. So now let's work with quadratic equation now. So in order to work with quadratic equation now, we now look for two numbers. We will now look for two numbers. I'll treat this very well in quadratic equation. I will now look for two numbers. Two numbers I will look for is the two numbers. If I multiply these two numbers now, the two numbers I will look for, if I multiply it, it will give me minus 40. I will look for two numbers. If I multiply, it will give me what? Minus 40. And if I add these two numbers, first one, if I multiply, it will give me minus 40. Secondly, if I add them, it will give me plus 3. What are the two numbers? The two numbers are 8 and minus 5. 8 and what? 8 and minus 5 are the two numbers. So that 8 and minus 5 now, we use that 8 and minus 5. Look at it. 8 times minus 5 will give us minus 40, right? Then again, 8, when you add 8 and 3, that is saying 8 or you subtract. It's either you add or you subtract. 8 minus 5 will give us 3, which is this 3. Associated in getting answer. Remember, if it is either you add, you get this number, or you subtract, you get this number, in case of any other quadratic equation. Now 8 and minus 3, we now use that 8. We now use 8 and minus 5. We now use that 8 and minus 5 to exchange this. We now take away this 3n and use that 8 and minus 5 we gotten to replace it according to the sign 2. Now have n raised to power 2 plus now 8 now plus 8n. We now use 8n, right? This one is minus, and I say minus 5n, okay? Then minus 40. I will not replace this one. This one will still be there, equals to 0, okay? Now let's continue here. Okay, so now concluding this thing, after writing it this way, we now do what? Factorize. So let me factorize. Now factorizing, I will now close these two numbers in bracket. I will now close n raised to power 2 plus 8n. I'll close it in bracket minus, okay, minus 5. I'll close this one in bracket too, minus 5n plus 40. The reason I put plus inside, I did not put minus, is if I want to open the bracket now, I'll still get the same thing. Okay, let me open the bracket. If I just open this bracket, since there's nothing is it, I'll just have n raised to power 2 plus 8n. Then opening this bracket now, say minus times 5n will give us minus 5n. Then minus times plus will still give us minus, and then it will now be minus 40. That is the reason, okay? Mind that. Okay, now next thing I will now look for is to get the same number in the bracket. I will look the same number. I will not try to find the same number. Let the same number be in the bracket. That is what I will be working for now. Okay, let me go do that now. Now I will now factorize n out. 1n. Now have 1n outside. Now what will remain here now? It will be 1 plus 8. Since one of the n has been out, if I want to open the bracket, I'll still get the same thing. Say n times n will give me this one, n times 8 will give me this one, equals to what again should I do to get? I want to try to get this number. Let this number still be in this bracket. So doing it now, let me minus. Now let me, this is still equals to, remember this one is still equals to 0, right? This is still equals to 0. Now minus 5, minus 5. If I bring out 5, what will I have inside here? I will now have only n plus 8 equals to 0. Okay, if I want to open this, this bracket, would I get the same thing? Would I get the same thing? Yes. Minus 5n times n, minus 5n times n will give us minus n. Then 5. Okay, let me leave this minus. 5 times n will give us 5n. 5 times 8 will give us 40. Okay, so I succeeded in getting the same number inside. Now let me pick my answer from this thing I have done. Now let me pick the one I want. Let me pick what? The one I want. So I will now pick one of them. Since I succeeded in getting the same thing inside, I will now pick one of them. I will now pick only n plus 8, one of them, bracket again. I will not put any, I will not put any sign again, bracket. I will not put any sign again, like minus or plus, no. Now open another bracket and put those numbers outside. I'll put those numbers outside in bracket. The first one is n minus the second one, which is 5 minus 5, close the bracket, equals to 0. Right, equals to what? 0. Now let me continue now. Okay, now I will now say, remember that I'm looking for n. I want to find n. I want to find the value of what? N. Now from this, now I will now say either n plus 8 equals to 0. Either this one is equal to this 0 or n minus 5 equals to 0. Okay, then from here, from this first one, it will now be n. We take away this one, 8, to the side of 0. Now say n equals to minus 0 when you take this 0 this side, or n is equals to minus 8. N is equals to minus 8 when you take this 0 to the other side. So now be n equals to minus 8, or n equals to, when you take this 5 to the other side, it will be plus, because it is plus here. When we take it to the other side, it will be minus. It is minus here. When we take it to the other side, it will be plus. It will now be 5. So the value of n now, therefore the value of n now is equals to minus 8 or 5. Answer. So this is how to solve this special type of number-based case. Please, I beg you to subscribe on my YouTube channel, okay? Please, I beg you, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.